Hello there, and this is part three of my Articka Sketchbook tour. And as you can see here, this is not like an actual like update on my Articka Sketchbook. I actually did like a few more drawings. I actually did a lot of drawings in this book this time, and I decided to postpone my Parrot Griffin comic for now. Since I'm going to continue this later, because to explain more about this comic is supposed to be like my supposed to be like an inspiration from I bought an inspiration from Courage the Collie Dog, a cartoon I used to watch a lot of time, like a lot when I was a kid. And I wanted to base my perspective. I wanted to like do a cartoon that was inspired by it. Like, this elf lady who constantly gets saved by her pet griffin, the pets saving their owners kind of deal. But the story was going while I was writing it was coming out a little too normal as opposed to like a Courage the Collie Dog episode where the weirdness happens right away. Yeah, it came out a little too narrow, so I kind of didn't know how to finish it. So I kind of postponed drawing in this book for a while. I decided to focus more on my Fixed sketchbook because I did normal drawings in this one. But this time, I actually finished the Fixed sketchbook, and I postponed the My Pair Griffin comic for later. I'm gonna eventually finish this comic when I get farther into this book. Hopefully, come with better stories for my pet Griffin. So I'm gonna start now. Here's the Android guy, the Android character. This robot Android character I did a drawing video of. Yeah, I did. You guys can check out that video, how to draw Android video. Maybe I'll post a link in the description for you guys to check it out and stuff. I really had a lot of fun making that video as well. So, yeah, this is my pet Griffin. This is about like this baby Griffin character who has to save his owner. I actually did come up with a name for this elf lady character. Her name is Jasmine, by the way. This elf lady character that I've been drawing a lot lately on my sketchbooks. I decided to name her Jasmine because that kind of fitting for an elf lady character, especially with an elf lady with long hair. So I decided to name her Jasmine. And this lion guy is also supposed to be like her friend or something like that. Yeah, he's supposed to invite her to this tournament for like griffins and stuff, since like griffins are kind of like royal mythical creatures and stuff. So there's a tournament to like decide which is the strongest griffin to be royalty and stuff. Yeah, and the queen right here. It says the queen of courts caught light of the start hiring griffins to be warriors for her kingdom. Yeah, because griffins are kind of like brave animals. They're kind of like both eagles and lions. So they're high for their bravery from this queen character right here. And that's supposed to be like the gist of the entire story. Like this brave, like baby griffin character who has to constantly fight evil and stuff. Yeah. Here is Belle, the bounty hunter from Scrappy Discovery. I don't think I did like a. I don't think I did part. I don't think I did like a comic review of my old Scrappy Discovery comics yet, or at least part 4 where I introduced her and stuff. I haven't did a comic review of it yet. I don't know. Scrappy Discovery has been postponed a lot lately for some reason because I guess people when I try to show it to my brothers and sisters who are they're not really interested in Scrappy Discovery as much, at least not as much as Werewolf is. More people are more interested in Werewolf than my Scrappy Discovery comic. That's why I decided to postpone the comic a little bit, where I introduced her in and stuff. And her character is obviously inspired by Samus from Metroid and stuff. Yeah, because they're both bounty hunters. this this attractive lady going on like being a bounty hunter. It's kind of cool that way. Yeah. Here's the fairy dragon that I drew. Like I like to draw a lot. He definitely looks more kaiju-like in this drawing as opposed to the other drawings I did of him. He's more like a dinosaur-like more. Kind of like a bit of Paul dinosaur. He looks more like that than an actual dragon. I guess he always looked like that, but I usually draw his tail more streamlined, like actually like more streamlined more. But this time it's mostly just straight, to hold him up his body where he's standing. Here's Kaida. And I kind of had like a brain fart moment with her because I originally named her Kaida in the comic, but I thought her name later on, I thought her name was Daida. It's a Kaida because Daida rhymes with dragon because they both start with a D. And I decided to call her Daida instead of Kaida, but I originally named her Kaida. Yeah, it's kind of like a brain fart moment for me. Yeah. I have so many characters that I usually forget the names of them. And for those of you who are interested in why what inspires me to come up with so many characters and keep up with names for them is the cartoons I usually watch. Because I was really big into cartoons when I was a kid. Like the Cartoon Networks, the Disney channels, the Nickelodeons, when they still produced like a variety of cartoons back then. And this was like the 2000s and stuff, like the mid to early 2000s when I was like a kid and stuff. I'll watch cartoons nonstop. I also watch the live action shows as well, but nowadays live action usually not look look greatly upon nowadays, especially with the people who wrote them. Yeah, especially with the Dan Snyder stuff. Yeah, here's an Ankylosaurus. This dinosaur character. I love drawing Ankylosaurus with the spikes and stuff on his back. Goes cool that way. Here's all the this is like the mythical creatures compilation. Like I try to draw as much mythical creatures as I possibly can in this photo, in this page at least. Here's a Wobbletinger. There's a German mythical creature, a Harpy Lady, a Goblin, a Griffin, a Slime or Blob character, a Kitsune, and a Orc. Yeah, try to stack as much mythical creatures as I possibly can to one page. Here are some Pokemon fan art that I decided because I decided to draw. I used to draw the simple Pokemon art and stuff. I actually tried to, if you guys can see closely, I tried to draw like an Axu and it came out as ugly. So I had to erase it. I tried to erase it as much as I possibly can, but you can still see in the shot that I tried to draw an Axu. So I decided to do a more simple Diglett instead, like a Alolan Diglett, because those are pretty funny. Here's Pikachu and here's Porygon 2, which is my favorite Pokemon. Yeah. The problem with problem I have with Porygon 2 is that it's kind of complicated to evolve him because he usually evolves with the upgrade, but you have to trade him with somebody. And I didn't really when I started to grow up more, I still played video games, but I didn't have that much friends to play video games with. Yeah, so I wasn't able to trade with them. And trading was usually not really that much of a thing where the DS came out, because that's usually what I played Pokemon. I think it was Pokemon Diamond that I had. Yeah, I didn't have much because most of my friends grew up in my neighborhood were pretty much growing too old for Pokemon for some reason. But I decided to still play Pokemon anyway because they're fun games. So I wasn't able to trade with them, most of my friends, to get Pokemon 2 and stuff. Here's Kenju, the wolf from Werewolf. He's the main character. I actually drew him with his cyborgnotic hand this time. His cyborg hand, because he's technically a cyborg now with his like in Werewolf now. I would like to draw more Werewolf, but I'm too busy with the My Pet Griffin stuff. And hopefully I'm able to draw more Werewolf in that big sketchbook that I have. I think it was called the Sue Color Sketchbook. Hopefully I'm able to draw more Werewolf in that one, because Werewolf seems to be the story that people are interested in. At least my family is, or people are usually introduced them and stuff. Here's like a penguin character, cute penguin character that I decided like a realistic kind of drawing with shading and stuff. Yeah, I love penguins, by the way. They're pretty funny animals. Here's Linda Vampire Bat from Werewolf. I think it was my psychiatrist or my therapist said that she was very pretty and stuff, and I actually like that a lot. she thinks my therapist thinks she's pretty. She's doing like a shy expression and stuff. Here's Figgy the Squirrel again. I like drawing Figgy the Squirrel a lot. And I actually did do a compilation of Figgy the Squirrel on Newgrounds. I re-uploaded it on Newgrounds, all the drawings I did of her. But I didn't upload like the mobile versions of her because the pictures came out weird on Newgrounds, and I don't know how that happened. So yeah, actually, I think I already showed you this, but I did do a comic of Figgy the Squirrel back then, and just like My Pet Griffin, I didn't know how to finish it because the story was going everywhere. And yeah, it kind of ended up just like My Pet Griffin, my slate of unfinished comics. Here's Brutus and Abby from Karate Bugs. which is also one of my more successful cartoons that I do. People usually like the compilations on YouTube. The compilations just get like hundreds of more views than the individual episodes. The only episode that I know that got over 100 views individually was that episode 6 of Karate Bugs. It's probably because I uploaded it immediately as soon after I uploaded it from Newgrounds. I uploaded to Newgrounds first, and I uploaded to YouTube after. And the people that were on my Newgrounds came to my YouTube channel to watch Karate Bugs and stuff, and I really appreciate that. By the way, you Newgrounds fans. Here's like a flying lion character. I guess they do have a name for them. I think it's called the Manticore. That's like a lion hybrid with wings and has like a snake tail. I decided to do more lion like because manticores usually look weird sometimes. So I decided to make the Manticore more lion like, more animal like and stuff. Here's a new dragon that I decided to draw. Electric dragon this time. Kind of looks more like a Kirin because of the electric powers and stuff. Kind of an electric dragon. Kind of looks like Shenron too from Dragon Ball Z. There's a long, elongated snake body and stuff. He has multiple wings on his back, which looks kind of cool that way too. It's kind of like a combination between like the Kirin and the Japanese dragon, or the Asian dragon at least. Here's the mouse lady. Well, I like the draw as well. I haven't given her a name yet either. I mean, I was going to eventually. I did want to eventually feature her in at least Werewolf or My Pet Griffin, since those are usually where animal characters usually are and stuff. I mean, I'm going to eventually feature this character in a future comic at least. To give her more personality, just like I did with Jasmine and the Elf Lady. Yeah. Here's the Harpy Lady again, which I decided to draw again. This cute Harpy Lady. And no, she's not naked. In YouTube. Here's Finn the Human from Adventure Time. This is also one of my favorite cartoons. Adventure Time really blew up back then. Because when Adventure Time first came out, the interesting thing about Adventure Time when it first came out was that most of the students, I was still in school, I was still in like middle school when Adventure Time came out, and most of the students in my class called it like a very dumb cartoon. People thought it was really stupid, but I still liked it for what it was because I pretty much grew up with stupid cartoons, and people thought, with the brain rotting content on YouTube all the time, people thought that SpongeBob was brain rotting back then. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, there was brainwashing content back then on like kids channels back then. If you call something like SpongeBob or even Coconut Fred or something like that, or even Almost Naked Animals, trash like that. Yeah. Here's a barracuda. Decided to draw a realistic barracuda and stuff because that's very cool. Barracudas are really cool fish, especially where, at least in the Virgin Islands, they're very cool. You see a lot of them in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where my parents grew up in. You see a lot of them there. They're not as like ferocious as the sharks are, the reef sharks are, but they're still like threatening a little bit in a way because they have sharp teeth and stuff. But the reef sharks are kind of more threatening because they're sharks and stuff. Here's Eddie from Ed and Eddie, like drawing my style. It's also one of my favorite cartoons. And the cool thing about Ed and Eddie is that since the show lasted for so long, it lasted for 10 years, I grew up with that show for majority of my life and stuff. I watched it. And it was very cool that they had an Ed and Eddie marathon at the end of like 2009, where most of the live action stuff when the live action stuff ended back in 2009, they decided to like bring back Ed and Eddie out of nowhere with the Big Picture Show. Yeah, and I watched both the marathon and the Big Picture Show when it first premiered. It was very cool and stuff. I watched it with my brothers and stuff because they're also big fans of Ed and Eddie, especially my older brother. He loved that show, and I also love that show too. It's a very funny show, especially with the type of hijinks that the Eds get into. And it's also very heartwarming to see that the Eds actually get accepted by the neighborhood kids after the Eds eventually defeated Ed's brother. Yeah. And so more drawing. Okay. I was gonna stop the video at the Eddie drawing, but I also draw a sea dragon as well. because I like drawing dragons. My love for dragons usually comes from my love of dinosaurs, like most like mosasaurs, dinosaurs, to pterosaurs. This type of like superpowered reptiles. Yeah, it's very cool. And I stopped it at here because I had this thing right here, this string right here. When I close the book like this, the string usually helps me track down where my last drawing was. Yeah, it really helps with that. And this like string right here helps me hold the book together. Since it's not like an actual like binder, like you see like actual bind stuff like you see in most sketchbooks. This one's actually different. Yeah, and I usually try to get as much different sketchbooks as I possibly can to test how they are. Yeah, to test how different they are from other sketchbooks. So every sketchbook that I have is completely different from each other. Each one. I got small ones, big ones, medium sized ones. I got sketchbooks of all kinds and stuff. I usually try to get as much different as possibly can. And I'm rambling here a little too much, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and that's it.